Welcome back to M Hood Fishing. Yeah, you're right. Quick sunset bite. That's what I'm up to. Yeah. Right behind this structure. Great place to look for reds, even though this is shallow water. That's right, redfish. You probably already know, you might not, but saltwater wedge is what we're calling it. Pure, strong saltwater coming up this way. However, even though it's not quite in front of us, this water is strongly brackish. It is not freshwater at all. So it's got a lot of saltwater species in it. This is the Mississippi River, and it's at 81 degrees when I left the house. It's what the temperature reading off the gauge up at Carrollton is giving us, 81 degrees. And the air temp right now is in the 70s, and they're gonna drop a little bit while I'm here. I don't know if we're gonna see fog while I'm here, but maybe a little bit in the morning. This is my Tuesday, but this video is coming out on Friday. This is our third video for today because we have some tropical weather coming in tomorrow. It's probably not gonna let me fish, right? So here we are, see what we can get. 2 rods, 2 different baits to go with. Obligatory zipper sound. That's always got to be in my video. So here we go. You can smell what that is. These were caught yesterday. We got croaker and a pinfish that's in there. So let's cut that croaker up. Little things like this, when they're fairly fresh, I can just use my bait scissors without destroying it too much. About a piece like this out of the middle. That should be good. Right there. I don't normally fish braid here, but we're doing it this afternoon. That's a 6/0. It's on steel leader. Make sure there's no scales on there. 4 ounces of lead is what I'm going to stick with. This is a 10-foot rod, so we don't need to put a lot of backbone into this cast because we're just putting it right there. Not a lot of current right now. As you can see, the tide is out. River is low. It's at around 3 feet. But we do have enough current to give us a little bit of drift on that 4. We just want it to drift a little bit down this structure, but not into it. If we cast towards the end right now, we would drift way too past it. So we either want to cast to this grouping of pylons and do a little bit of a drift. It's not going to be much. I think we're at the end of our drift. Or cast somewhere right here where you see this middle bit of pylons, these 2 here, and then those 2 somewhere in there. And then we would probably drift and stop at the end. We just don't want to go past the end or we'll hit a bunch of stuff, because this structure used to go further this way, and who knows what else is added to it, revetment and that sort of thing. But yeah, snaggy past that. I've been keeping these cold, but they smell old for sure, but they're not totally brown yet. A little bit. Let's see if we can still catch something with this shrimp here. They're from like what, Thursday of last week. They were working yesterday, so will they work today? I'm gonna fish this shrimp on a dropper loop that is a 2/0 Kale, 20-pound test. We're only using 2 ounces of lead. Where we're putting this, it's at the structure, right? But it's not near as deep as, I'm gonna hook this twice. I'm gonna go through the body and then a bit through the tail, because the older your shrimp gets, the softer. And remember, this is not market bait. This is shrimp I caught live. So that's where I'm going to start putting the shrimp first. And that is real shallow. As we go from the corner of this structure to the end, it gets deeper. It's convenient to be here during daylight so you can see what you're casting at, because this is one of these places where if you get it wrong, you're done for. You're gonna snag up. At night you come here, and if you don't have the right kind of light and you put a little too much power in your cast, you get it in side past these pylons, you're probably going to snag up. Usually you will. However, the disadvantage in being here at this time just went by. Now we got lots of traffic, right? And that's going to cause wakes, but we have the ferry, and the ferry's just going to be ripping back and forth in front of us like about, what, 2 times an hour. They do this on the hour and a half, back and forth, making a wake. But we should be able to catch, but we're going to be dealing with that. Not to mention the boat that is moored here, that's tied off. Look at the size of it. They're not running their motor, but they are running their generator. It does cause a bit of an issue with fish, but we should be able to bang into something. It's not too loud. If they were sitting there idling their motor and their generator, that's a bit overkill. That will kill a spot. Look how green this is. Even though the ferry and the other traffic is churning up the mud behind this structure, the water is really green, and it will be when it has a high salinity count. I'm sure people down in the comment sections are saying, oh, the ferry going back and forth will give you barge bites. Yeah, when stuff's going by, it will create that phenomenon of barge bite, but there's a limit to how much is too much. There's always a limit. There you go. Even though we've got a lot of water getting churned up consecutively, we already lost our first shrimp. Might pay off just to hold the rod with the shrimp. I was doing that for a while, and then I gave up. Yes, didn't take long with the shrimp. The trick was just to have the patience, hold the rod so you can strike. You gotta hold the rod down like this in the strike position. And there we go, there's our first redfish. That might be, I don't think that's a 16, maybe close. I'm trying to do this in here. Make sure that bungee's not up on his gills. Here we go. 15. He's getting kind of bronzy. The other day when I was getting them out of the river, they were very silvery. We got one spot over here. Let's look at the other side. And it's the mirror image, just one spot. Very stinky, slightly brown shrimp, working just fine. You're going the wrong way, buddy. Okay, you wanted to try that free ride again, right? Gotcha. Yes. Time is ticking and bites are happening, but hookups are not happening very often. This is the second one. There's no telling what all is biting here. It could be small catfish, probably is small catfish out there. But this is nowhere near a keeper. I'm not going to even bother putting him under a bungee cord and putting a tape on him, because yeah, that is not a keeper at all. Alley-oop. Fresh bait for this one. It is now 5:58. Time is ticking. Mosquitoes are starting to come out. They're not absolutely bad, but yeah, they're gonna get carnal soon. Nice. I barely felt that. And here we go. That is my biggest problem this evening. Little tiny channel cats, bait thieves. We are getting there for sure. We're gonna try a few more times. I think most of the bites were probably, oh yes, oh yes, right off. Didn't even get a chance to hit the bottom, did it? I wonder, but yeah, I think most of the bites, and there's been thousands of them, were little channel cats like that. But something just changed, right? What do you think this is? I think it's a red, is what I think. And there we go. Probably about like a 15 again. Probably like a 15. And I'll tell you what, I'm not gonna bother. I am just not gonna bother, because even if it was barely a 16, if it was squeaking out 16, I don't really wanna take your life, because there's not much on you, buddy. Let's give you a chance. Plus, I wanna get back out there real quick, because there's stuff going on. A bunch of bait just came in here, and those redfish were knocking it out. Yeah, that bait is still here, coming through here. Let's see. Last time I did that, by now we were fighting that fish. Well, it doesn't look like it's going to repeat itself quite like I want it to. I would say not too bad, because it's been a very short session, very relatively short, and it should get better as we progress. But tomorrow might be wetter than it is today for sure. So yeah, you're right, very interesting, fun session, but now it is full of mosquitoes, and it is time for me to say thanks for watching, liking, sharing, commenting, being a member, and subscribing, and I will see you next time.